Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. We're doing a lower body focused practice today. I am going to use 2 blocks just to hold on to. Find some space to move though, and let's get started. So let's begin today in butterfly. If you do have some blocks to use later, have those off to the side. And you can bring the soles of your feet together, your knees out nice and wide. Just start to find out how things are feeling throughout your hips. Maybe bring your hands behind you. You can lightly press into the ground. And if it does feel okay to move the knees, you can kind of move one knee up and down at a time. And maybe there's not a lot of movement there. That's okay. You don't have to add that in. But just a little sway of the hips even, the shoulders might start to loosen up, soften the hips a little bit more. But if you do reach a point where you'd like to fold forwards, you can fold forwards. But same thing here. You can move a little, sway the shoulders, maybe lift one knee and then the other, or maybe even both at the same time. Just a little lift and a little lower. But try not to work too hard. A nice little movement, if any at all. Trying to just soften your hips more. Now let your shoulders fall away from your ears as well. Maybe close your eyes and relax your forehead. And if you are leaning forwards, maybe you lean a little further. Just take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. And then you can start to sit back up. If you are leaning forwards, you can bring your hands to your knees. Help them come together. Give them a little squeeze. We're going to be making our way to tabletop, so onto our hands and knees. And then if you do have blocks to use, have one on either side of your mat. Again, they're just to hold on to. But from tabletop, you can give your hips a little bit of a sway. We're going to be moving into a lunge with our right foot forwards. Should you want to add any cushion underneath your left knee, you can add something or you can roll your mat over, but we're going to be here for a little bit of time. So blocks, come in a little closer. Again, they're just to hold on to so that we can get a little more comfortable here. To sink a little bit more into that left hip flexor. To maybe get a little bit heavier throughout the chest. And to maybe breathe a little slower, smoother. All the while giving that left hip flexor a chance to open up. So take just another breath here. And then you can start to send your hips back, lengthening through the front leg, a little half split. Feel free to move your blocks with you from pose to pose. You might point your toes up though, feeling the length through the back of the leg. Maybe dropping the chest towards the knee. But just breathing smoothly. Softly, and just trying to give our legs a chance to lengthen, stretch. Now let's use an inhale and bend back into the front knee. So come back for your lunge, sinking into that left hip flexor again. Same thing as before, except this time maybe look forwards a bit. Maybe lift your chest a little bit, but still trying to keep most of the weight of your upper body on that front leg or over top of that front leg so that our back leg is nice and light And then our hips want to sink a little forwards, a little more down, perhaps. Awesome work, you guys. Slowly, you're going to send the hips back again. Find your half split. Maybe pointing the toes up. Dropping your chest towards your knee as much as it wants to. And then you can use an inhale to come back for that lunge. Now this time, you can either leave your foot in the middle or you can heel toe it over to the right. So a lizard lunge. If you're going to the lizard lunge, bring your blocks on the inside of your foot. Let your hips sink down. You might find that you're too high up then. Maybe you want to come onto your forearms on top of your blocks. Sinking into the hips though. And then should you want to lift your back foot up, get into that quad, you can reach back with your right foot. Right hand, left foot. If you are adding the quad stretch in, see if you can look down in front of you first. And then maybe you'll try to look over top of the right shoulder. Notice if anything changes. Still trying to let the hips sink forwards and down. So you might not have moved at all, just the gaze, but the stretch, the sensation you're feeling may have changed slightly. Maybe not. And then if you do have your back foot lifted, very slow and gentle, start to let it come back down to the ground. We're going to climb back up onto the hands so that we can bring our foot to the middle of the mat again. And then you're going to send your hips back one more time for your half split. And maybe this time you'll push your toes down. Push the whole foot into the ground, drop your chest. Maybe you can feel the top of the ankle into the shin a little bit. So one more breath here, and then you can bend back into your front knee just a little bit so that you can bring your right foot and leg back and into tabletop. And you can give your hips a little bit of a sway side to side if you'd like. Shake it out for a moment. Notice how you feel through that left hip flexor. And now we can switch sides. Our left foot is going to come forward. So if you're going to be rolling your mat over, adding any cushion underneath the right knee this time, you can do that. Feel free to hold on to your blocks or not. And sinking into that right hip flexor this time. We don't really have to pay attention to where we're looking for this first one, but maybe it's down to the ground. Let your chest be heavy on your front leg. Just another breath. And then you can send your hips back, your half split. Maybe move your blocks, your hands closer. Maybe point your toes up. Feel your hamstring. Drop your chest if you need some more. But just breathe. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Using an inhale, we're going to come back for that same lunge, leaving our foot in the middle, sinking into those hips. And if you feel nice and heavy, kind of through the upper body on your front leg, what happens when you look up a little? Lift the chest up a little, but still leaning forward. So trying to create that openness through the right hip flexor by keeping the upper body weight kind of forwards and in front of that hip flexor if possible. Of course, you can close your eyes even if you have your head lifted up a little bit. Stay for just another breath, and then you can send your hips back again, back to your half splits, pointing those toes up if you'd like, dropping your chest towards your knee. Awesome work, you guys. You can bend back into the front knee, and then this time you can heel toe your foot over if you want to. And if you do, bring your hands to the inside of that foot. Lizard lunge or a regular lunge, sinking those hips forwards and down. And if you feel too high, you can lower the chest. And if you feel like reaching for your back foot, left hand, right foot. And if you want to think about the gaze to start, maybe we can look down, forwards or down a little bit. And should you want to try to take a peek over your shoulder, let everything stay as it is, except for your gaze, your chest turning slightly. Does the stretching sensation change? Awesome work, you guys. You can slowly let your foot come to the ground if you have it lifted. We can heel toe our foot back in as well if you brought it off to the side. And then send the hips back. Find your half split one more time. Maybe pushing the foot down this time. Try to feel the top of the ankle and the shin a little bit. You might have to drop your chest towards your knee. Awesome work, you guys. Slowly bend back into that front knee just enough so that you can bring your left leg back behind you, back to tabletop. You can give your hips a little sway, shake it out a little, but then scoot your knees together, your feet together, and tuck your toes under. Feel free to keep some weight in the hands or to sit all the way back. Rest your hands in your lap maybe. A lovely toe squat to end off our short and sweet practice. How are your toes, your feet feeling today? You need to help those pinky toes lengthen a little bit more. Nicely done, you guys. Take another breath or two. If you have your hands lifted up, you can start to bring them back down to the ground. Untuck those toes. Maybe give them a little bit of a love tap against the ground. Shake it out. And then you can have a seat. Any comfy seat will do. Feel free to stay in your toe squat if that is a comfy seat for you. But awesome practice, you guys. That is it. That is all. I hope you're feeling some love through your hips all the way to your toes. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. And until next time, namaste. If you enjoy my yoga classes, be sure to join my membership right here on YouTube. You'll get access to more classes every single week, and those classes are longer as well. You'll even learn some more information about me. So if you haven't already joined my membership, click the link in the description down below, and I will see you on the mat very soon.